Hello there and welcome to the Bearded Peacock. It's my channel where we talk all things Leeds United. It's just not long since finished. Hull City nil, Leeds United nil at the MKM Stadium in Hull. Frustration really. It was a tale of two misses, if you like, and we'll get into that one later on in this video, obviously. Yeah, review of this nil-nil draw. It's a second nil-nil draw in 2 games for Leeds, but it is a third clean sheet in a row as well for Leeds. So, yeah, I think given the circumstances, obviously 10 men Leeds, 10-man Leeds in this one, plan to play the last half an hour of the game with 10 men after Joe Rodon received a second yellow card. Again, I'll give my thoughts on that in the video. So let's look at the starting 11. There was 2 changes from the side that beat Millwall on Saturday. Sam Byram and Crescencio Somerville both um, benched. Shackleton and Dan James came in for them. Somerville, though, incidentally, would see a lot of the game. Willie Nonto couldn't really get into the match. I think he was, and then subsequently picked up an injury. He played on for a little while, then he pulled up, and yeah, it was time to get off for Willie. Who knows the extent of that injury right now, but hopefully it's not too bad. But Crescencio Somerville certainly was a catalyst of most things going forward for Leeds United, particularly in that first half. Anyway, but I think, yeah, it was a tale of two misses, really. We'll get on to Jorginho Rutter's miss in the first half first. I think he's got to score. It annoyed me because he missed it so badly. He should score. You've got all that time to pick where you want to put it. You've got to score. You have to score. It's just not good enough. Not good enough at all. And he's allowed the keeper to make that save. Goalkeeper was not getting anywhere near it. The goalkeeper even sat down for him. You know what I mean? You just slide it past him into the net. We're 1-0 up. If we score at that stage, I think it's an easy game. I think it was first goal wins. I think really, and they were nowhere near getting it at that stage. Absolutely rubbish in the first half. Hull. One of well, all these teams. I'm sick of these teams. That I know it makes it easier game for us, but I'm sick of them just sitting off, sitting off, sitting off, sitting off all the time. Didn't even look like they were trying to score a goal in that first half. Did Hull? And we had all the ball. Crescencio Somerville was like I said, the catalyst of everything good really for Leeds in this game, particularly in the first half, as we had more of the ball really. Um, could have scored himself. I think Allsop in the goal, wasn't it, his debut for Hull. Um, Save from him. Nice little interplay with Jorginho Rutter. He popped it off to Somerville on the edge of the box, but the keeper's made a nice save. And that was the extent of the chances, really. We had a lot of the ball. We didn't really do much with it. And it was quite frustrating in the end. And then second half comes, and I felt like the start of the game and the start of the second half, Hull had a little spell of sort of a little bit of pressure in our sort of final third and didn't really look like scoring, but they had a little bit more of the ball, and I think that gave them a little bit of confidence. And we never really a lot going down our right side in the second half, and it just didn't seem to click properly. It's a couple of wide shots going wide, and things like that. I didn't think really Dan James added too much to the starting 11. I believe probably Dan James was just there for a little bit of rotation, really. But he was poor, I felt, didn't really add anything to that attack. Joel Perot was very quiet as well. Obviously, Joel Perot gets whipped off on 60 minutes when Joe Rodon gets his marching orders because he got a second yellow card. Fouls Alan Connolly on the halfway line. I don't know. I probably think this one's a yellow card, but it's scraping the barrel a little bit. Um, Certainly the first one was a little bit harsh, but I was screaming at Joe Roden, control the ball, man, control the ball. He had about 2 or 3 chances to control the ball, and he miscontrols it, and then he ends up fouling the lad. And it's probably not a yellow card, is it? But these things happen, don't they? And And to be fair to Leeds, after that, obviously Cooper comes back into the squad, back off the bench, and Anthony as well comes on. Um, and to be fair to Leeds, they defended well because Hull after that had pretty much all the ball. But we were basically all men back, weren't we, from 60 minutes onwards, and from that it's sort of like a training exercise. Can we get to 90 minutes in the full time whistle without conceding? Because he kind of still fancied his chances on the break. We've still got quick lads up front. Obviously, Joel Pro got whipped off for Anthony on 60 minutes. Like I said, quiet game for him, but we still had quality up there and up front to hurt them on the break if we could get it to those forward lads. We never really did it past the sending off. I didn't think, and it was disappointing really. I thought Hull were awful as well. To be fair, couldn't pick us apart and didn't have the quality. They had some decent opportunities. To be fair, worked it into some decent areas in that second half in the latter stages, but they just couldn't do it. And it becomes to the like, what was it, 88th, 87th, 88th minute, and lad named Adama Traore, obviously not the Adama Traore, but you've got to score, lad. You just have to score. It's probably the worst. I'm not joking, it's probably the worst miss I've ever seen. He hits the post, but the goal's wide open. All he has to do is roll it in. Literally has to roll it in. The lad Connolly, I think, has squared it to him. He's about 5, 6 yards out. Mellier's on the floor. He's never going to get there. Nobody's getting there. All he has to do is roll it in. It's the worst miss I think I've ever seen. Honestly, I think it probably is. And it's in the last few minutes of that game. If they score, it's probably well, it's very undeserved, but they win the match. And I thought, to be fair, the only player that impressed me on their team was Philogene. Yeah, he was good, and I think he played for Cardiff, didn't he, last season? He scored against us in the cup on loan from Aston Villa. Yeah, he looked he caused problems, and he was cooking Bill Ayling every single time. I mean, yeah, Luke Ayling's just not good enough, is he? But yeah, he was absolutely cooking him every single time he got the ball, really. There was a moment in the first half where he almost sort of, you thinking, oh, was he going to give away a penalty here? He seemed to just, yeah, very easily get past him. But yeah, I think defensively, yeah, they show the good qualities. But I think the only lad I thought didn't have a good game was Jamie Shackleton. Just, I don't know, too many loose balls, too slow to things. I, I just did, it's hard to pick at them because they got a clean sheet and had to play with 10 men for half an hour. Well, over half an hour plus injury time. So it's hard to pick at them a little bit, but I didn't think he had a good game. Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are on this game. But on the positive note, it's three clean sheets in a row. That's now um, obviously 5 points from those three games. We're unbeaten in 5 games now since the one and only defeat of the season away at Birmingham City. Yeah, I mean it's something to build on. We do look defensively solid and hard to beat. It's just getting it right in that final third in the front line. I mean, yeah, Rutter, he should have scored that, and that was a golden opportunity. And I believe if we score at that stage in the game, we do go on to win it comfortably because Hull then have to come out at us, which creates more space. They were very compact and pretty hard to break down, albeit they were poor going forward. But it's like this every single game. You see the crowd. It was packed out, full house for the first time since I don't know when they beat Liverpool in the Premier League. So long time, and yeah, biggest crowd for them since that day. It's everybody's cup final really playing Leeds, even if we're not playing that well, it's everybody's cup final. Everybody wants to beat Leeds, and everybody wants to see them do that if they can possibly do that. The home side that we're playing up against. So we're going to get that more and more and more this season. Even at Ellen Road, obviously, I think we're going to get that as well. So we're up against it. Can we pick the lock of all these teams that come and play like that? With those attacking options, I'd say hopefully more often than we will than we won't. But let's wait and see. And there's no panic from me. There's no panic about this result or about the way that we've started the season. It's steady. It's nothing more than that. It's steady. But we'll get there. I think we'll get there. Obviously too many draws. Really, that's four draws, isn't it now? Yeah, but we'll get there. I think eventually, and it's a 46 game season. There's 39 games left. There's plenty of time to to sort ourselves out and get close to the top. I'm not looking at the table, so, really at the moment we're 2 points away from sixth place, who is Hull City, of course. So I'm hoping that obviously we can go forward and win more games, unlock these tight packed defences. But no doubt that the sending off obviously has changed the game and made it into their favour. If they had more quality, they would have won basically. But I don't think it was a red card. Let me know in the comments your thoughts on that red card and the whole game in general. Who played well, in your opinion? Who didn't have the best of games? For me, it was all pretty just, you know, nothing really to speak about individual performances. Like I said, I just noticed that Jamie Shackleton probably didn't have his best game. But there you go. Thanks very much for watching. Let me know in the comments your thoughts. Remember to like and subscribe to the channel as well, to be fair. I haven't had any new subscribers for a while, and yeah, I do regular videos, and if you enjoy the content, then do subscribe. Yeah, I'm trying to hit 1,000. I've been trying to hit 1,000 for since the day I started it, which was going on 4 years ago, really now. So yeah, it'd be nice to see an upturn in the numbers if you enjoy it. Thanks a lot. Marching on together. See you on the next one.